Today's lesson 1.4, standard form of linear equations. Today all of our equations are given in standard form. Standard form, the equation of standard form is ax plus by equals c. A and b are just coefficients. They're the numbers out in front of x and y. C is a constant. What you're going to do today is you're going to take equations in standard form and convert them to slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is when y is alone. When y is alone, we can determine m and b. M our slope, b our intercept. Slope-intercept form is that y equals mx plus b. Looking at our first example, we have x plus 3y equals 6. That there is in standard form. You have the ax plus by equals c. Your a value would be out in front of x, which would be 1. Your b value out in front of y is 3, and equals your constant c, which would be 6. So right now, I'm going to convert this into slope-intercept form, and here's the steps that you would do so. I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this equation out real quick. In order to do this, remember our whole goal is to get y alone. In order to get y alone, we need to get rid of x. X is a positive x, so we need to subtract x. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Okay? X take away x, it would cancel out. You're going to drop down the positive 3y. On this side, you have 6 take away x. You cannot do that. They are not like terms. So I'm just going to rewrite it like so. Now, to get y alone, we need to get rid of 3. 3 is multiplying by y, so we are going to use the inverse operations. We need to divide by 3. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. When we work this out, the 3's will cancel. You'll be left with y equals 6 divided by 3 is 2. This is negative x. Remember, negative x, you can really put a 1 here. So this is really saying negative 1 divided by 3. Negative 1 divided by 3 is going to give me negative 1/3 x. Your problem is now in slope-intercept form. It is y is by itself. M, your slope, is really negative 1/3, not 1 as it looks up here in standard form. Your slope, in order to find that slope, it has to be in slope-intercept form. So your slope is negative 1/3. Your intercept is 2. Example 2, we have 2x minus 3y equals 15. Again, we need to get y alone. We are going to subtract by 2x. 2x is positive. Subtract by 2x. Take away 2x would cancel out. We drop down the negative 3y. And we have 15 minus 2x. We cannot subtract them. They are not like terms. Now we need to get y by itself. That is being multiplied by negative 3. Therefore, we are going to divide by negative 3. And we need to do that to both sides. Alright, now that we've divided both sides by negative 3, let's go ahead and work through this. Negative 3 and divided by negative 3, that'll cancel out, and we'll be left with y equals, we have 15 divided by negative 3 is going to give me negative 5. We have negative 2 divided by negative 3. A negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive 2/3, and we drop down x. So after we convert into slope-intercept form, we would find out that our slope is really 2/3, not 2, and our intercept is really -5, not 15. Moving on to example 3, again, you can just pause this at your own leisure here, and I'm going to go through it a little quicker now that we've gone through a couple examples. So first off, I'm just going to rewrite the equation. X minus 4y equals -12. This is in standard form. We need to convert to slope-intercept, so we need to get rid of our x. So x is positive. We will subtract x from both sides, giving us -4y equals -12 minus x. Still, to get in slope-intercept form, we need to get y by itself. In order to do this, we have -4 here. -4 is multiplying by y, so therefore we need to divide both sides by -4. After dividing both sides by -4, your 4's will cancel out, leaving us with y. -12 divided by -4 is 3. X, remember, we can put a 1 here. This is really -1x. -1 divided by -4. Two negatives make a positive, and we'd have a positive 1/4 x. Example 4, your equation is rewritten. We need to get y alone, therefore we would subtract both sides by -5. We would drop down the -2y. 0 minus 5x, we'd be left with on this side. Note that 0 minus 5x is not going to get us anywhere, so we can actually really just take 0 right out of that equation there, because 0 minus 5x would be -5x. So really what you have is -2y equals -5x. Get y by itself, divide both sides by -2, and we get y equals -5 divided by -2. Two negatives would make a positive 5/2 x. Now, yesterday when you had this problem, you had your x and y intercept. When you did your x and y intercept on this problem here, both of them you found out was at your origin. Okay? So you only had one plot. You weren't able to graph this. Now that you have your equation in slope-intercept form, you could go ahead and graph this equation here. You notice that your intercept over here, b, is not present, and so it is 0. You can go ahead and plot. You could use the slope-intercept form graphing method to plot this. So rise over run. Your run is 2. So I come over from my point, 1, 2. My rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have my 2 points. And I can construct that linear line. Construct that linear line just like that. Last problem here. Again, rewrite that equation. And then I can go ahead and get y by itself, so I need to get rid of 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, leaving me with, dropping down the -y. Make sure we carry that sign. -y equals -3 minus 2x. You need to get y alone. Remember, the coefficient for y there is really a -1. We can put a 1 here. So I'm going to divide both sides by -1. -1 divided by -1, that's going to cancel out and leave us with that y. -3 divided by -1 gives me a positive 3. A -2 divided by -1 would give me a positive 2. And then we need to bring down that x. So in slope-intercept form, we have y equals 3 plus 2x. You could also rewrite this equation here. I mean, they're both saying the same thing. You could also, if you wanted to, say y equals 2x plus 3. Either equation is correct. This is a positive 3, showing a positive 3 down here. Positive 2 and a positive 2. This concludes slope-intercept and standard form and converting from one to the other.